In order to save the world, I have to kill him. I really believe that I'm insane.
Meet Joni Truman, a woman who just shot her husband down in cold blood, and in her mind had a very good reason for doing it.
I believe that he was the devil.
But as detectives slowly unravel her story, they begin to wonder, is Joni really insane?
I don't want to be insane.
Or is this all just a convenient excuse to get rid of an inconvenient husband?
He would just keep on pushing me until I went over the edge. It needed to be done. My mom is so proud of me, and she did not want me to be insane. I had to end it. I had to get out.
On the evening of April 2nd, 2021, 38-year-old Joni Truman called 911 dispatch in Arcadia, Florida, with a shocking confession.
911, what is your emergency?
Yes, ma'am, I just killed my husband.
You just killed your husband?
Yes, ma'am.
She just shot her husband, and in her mind, had a very good reason for doing it.
Okay, and why did you do that?
I believe I'm insane.
You killed him because you believe you're insane?
I believe I am insane.
Deputies quickly arrived at the rural residence on Hollingsworth Street, where they found two women standing in the driveway, including Joni Truman and her mother. "You're looking for me," she was reported to have said. "I just killed my husband." As Joni was taken into custody, authorities secured the grisly scene. Her husband, Gregory Truman, was found dead in the doorway of the apartment. He was surrounded by shell casings and had been shot multiple times in the head. But was Joni really insane? Or was it just an act of brutal revenge on a husband she hated? She was brought in to be interviewed, where despite her claims of insanity, detectives realized there was much more to the story. The following footage was provided by the DeSoto County Sheriff's Office.
Like I said, my name is Detective Buck. This is Detective Tribble. We're from the Criminal Investigative Division. I'm not exactly sure what all's going on. I got a short briefing. They told me they wanted me to come in and talk to you, if that's okay with you. I'd like to go over some things, hear your side of things, clear up anything, that may be kind of leery. So if that's okay with you, we can do that. Beforehand, I do have to read you your rights. At any time, you can stop talking. This is just basically to get your side of things, but you're in control. So I'm going to read them to you, and then we'll go through each one, okay? We've got a short kind of synopsis of what supposedly happened. I'd like to hear your side of things. If I ask you some questions, would that be okay? Okay. What's your husband's name?
Greg Truman.
Okay, so I'm going to write that down, okay? Do you know his date of birth?
May 31st, 1982.
Okay. Okay. What happened with Greg today?
He's been in the hospital for 9 days, and he was released today.
Okay. Was he here in DeSoto?
He was at Bayfront, Port Charlotte.
Bayfront, Port Charlotte. Okay. What was he in the hospital for?
A kidney stone.
Okay. Okay. And did you bring him home or did you drive home?
He drove himself home because he drove himself there.
Okay, gotcha. And then when he got home, what time would you say he got home?
We got home about 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
Okay. And then what happened after that?
I went inside and I used the bathroom and just decided I couldn't do it.
Okay. You mean do it like the relationship or the marriage with him? Okay. Was there prior problems or something? Okay. And that after you used the bathroom, what happened? We deal with this all the time. We deal with, people that need to. It's really best to clear it out, because I know you had said some things to the dispatchers, and I'm basically just confirming stuff with you. So whatever you want to go through is up to you.
I went into my parents' room
Mm-hmm.
and I grabbed their gun.
Okay.
next door, and I shot him.
Okay. Did you say anything to him, or did he see you?
He saw me,
Okay.
and he asked me what I was doing, and he said, "What is that?" I said, "It's a gun." And he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I
Don't remember necessarily what you said. Okay. And then do you remember, did he try to come at you or to stop you?
Yes.
Okay. And what, just kind of run me through what happened.
He grabbed me and we wrestled and I shot him.
Okay. Do you remember where you shot him? Okay. Do you remember how many times you shot him? Okay.
Joni calmly tells investigators the story of how she killed her husband. After retrieving a gun from her parents' bedroom, she returned to the adjoining apartment and confronted Gregory with it. A struggle ensued, and Gregory ended up dead, shot multiple times in the head. But what could have led her to commit such an act? And who else was there when it happened?
Was there anybody else in the home?
No, the apartment, it was just me and him in there.
Okay. You said your parents' room, do they live there as well?
Yes, it's my parents' house.
Okay. But they're not there now?
Yeah, everyone was home.
Okay, everyone was. But you stay in the apartment separate?
We had been separated. He was staying in the apartment by himself.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And you were staying with your parents?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it like a single family home with a separate apartment, or is it all together?
They turned a 3-car garage into an apartment.
Okay, gotcha. And where did your parents keep the firearm?
They have 2, I believe. They had one on my mom's side of the bed and one in the nightstand on my dad's side of the bed.
Okay, and which one did you get?
The one out of the nightstand on my dad's side of the bed.
Okay. Do you remember what it looked like?
9mm pistol.
Okay. Was it like black or okay? And you got that and went back over to where your husband was in the apartment. And where was he in the room when you came in?
Standing in the kitchen in front of the refrigerator.
Okay. And you had just walked in the door into the apartment and he saw you?
Yes.
Okay. The conversation, he had asked you what that was.
Yes.
Okay, and you told him it was a gun.
Yes.
Okay. How far away was he from you? When
Standing right in front of me.
just like this or closer?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think he was doing when he came towards you?
He was getting himself something to drink, and then I just pulled the gun, and he said to drink down and tried to stop me.
Okay. Try to stop you from
He
shooting.
came at me, yes.
Okay.
What made you? How did you make this decision?
He just drove me over the edge. He's been causing my family turmoil for so long now. He kept damaging my car. He kept damaging the truck. He didn't want to work. He's caused us so much stress and hurt, and I've been begging him for a divorce, and he just wouldn't divorce. He wouldn't let me have a divorce. He wouldn't let me have the money to get a divorce. He wouldn't let me out. He wouldn't let me go. He was driving me over the edge. And I was trapped. I couldn't get out.
When did you, with yourself, make the decision that this was the only way out?
On the way home from the hospital.
Okay. So
My family, we were all scared of him. And we were all just, on edge all the time because we didn't know if he was going to do something to, cause us harm we believe he tried breaking into my window because my window got damaged and the bottom of it got pried up. And nobody else is around anytime. So nobody's there to mess with anything. But I mean, my mom and dad are old and sick, and my aunt's old and sick, and other than that, it's just me. So who else is going to do anything like that?
Joni tells investigators that after years of Gregory's abuse, she simply couldn't take it anymore. Her family had been terrorized, he wouldn't grant a divorce, and in her mind there was no way out but murder. Investigators later spoke to Joni's father, who denied that she was the victim of any mistreatment from Gregory. But even if this were all true, it directly contradicts the insanity defense she gave during the 911 call. And investigators are now wondering, was this premeditated or a crime of passion?
Have you thought about it before? Doing something like that? No. I mean, you said driving back from the hospital, you guys weren't in the same vehicle, or you were?
No, he was in the truck that he drove to the hospital.
Okay.
He
Gotcha.
drove himself there. He was at work, and he said he was sick and decided that he needed to go to the hospital.
Okay. When you got home, you'd already made that decision on your own, like you said, on the way home from the hospital. And when he was in the apartment, did you think, he was going to do something, or was he kind of doing his own thing, like you said, getting a drink or something?
He was getting something to drink.
Okay. Okay.
So, so we're staying on the same page. This has just been building up. All the turmoil you say that he's been causing you.
We've been together for almost 7 years, and I have been begging him for a divorce for probably the past 3 years. And I have lost so much weight. I'm just worn down. I couldn't take it anymore. I'm unhappy. I wanted out, and I didn't. He wouldn't let me go. I didn't see any other way out.
So by the time you were home, you knew you were going to use the gun, or were you going to say the gun wasn't there? I mean, were you just going to make it happen no matter what, or do you think something could have changed your mind?
I just, I knew the gun was there, and I made up my mind that I had to end it. I had to get out. I couldn't take the mental abuse anymore. It was too much. I was going through so much stress with my family being sick, and trying to take care of my mom and my dad and my aunt and keep everything up. And I was supposed to be starting my new job tomorrow, which I guess is not going to happen. And he has messed up my car that my parents bought for me. And he messed with the spark plugs or something, or he would keep on messing with my vehicles so that I was stuck at home. He did not want me to have a job. He didn't want me to work. He didn't want me to leave the house. And if I left the house, he wanted to be right there. He didn't want me to go anywhere by myself. He domineered me. He, even if I wanted to go to the store and go grocery shopping, he had to be right there. He wouldn't let me go by myself. And I just couldn't do it. I wanted out. I couldn't do it anymore.
Was he like that? Like it was a controlling thing, a jealousy thing, all of the above?
Yes.
Joni says that Gregory was a domineering, controlling husband, and he wouldn't let her go anywhere or do anything by herself. Combine this with the stress of taking care of sick family members, and you have a recipe for disaster. It seems the pressure finally boiled over, and Joni's homicidal breakdown was all but guaranteed. But did she ever second-guess her decision? Or was she laser-focused on what she felt needed to be done?
During the time you were in the car and you got home and you went to the room and got the gun and then went into the apartment, did you ever second guess what you were doing? No. You didn't think about like the consequences of what may happen.
At that point, I needed my family. I mean, I needed my family to not be so scared. I mean, I knew that it was going to hurt them and everything that they were going to go through because of what I did. But they were all so scared of him. And we were all on edge all the time. And just when he was around, we were unhappy and just, we couldn't be ourselves. We couldn't be free.
Do you believe making this decision, you kind of took all that into consideration and kind of reasoning of everything that's been happening, and that's a conclusion you came to? Okay.
Let me ask this. What made you call our dispatchers?
My mom was hysterical, and she said we need to call 911, and she was too hysterical to do it, so I knew I needed to do it for her because she wasn't capable of doing it. And my dad was just kind of in shock, and he was in the hospital himself today. I mean, we had to take him to the emergency room, and I haven't been able to sleep. I'm sleep deprived. I needed help.
So, and you said you didn't really remember much of what he said or how many times you shot him. You can't, was it once, twice? Did you narrow it down? How did you think you shot him?
Either 4 or 5.
Are you familiar with firearms?
A little.
Okay.
I've practiced some.
With your parents and stuff?
Yes.
Okay. When you had the firearm and you had shot it, do you remember if you stopped shooting because the bullets were empty, there was no more in the gun, or
I just stopped.
Just stopped? Okay. In between the time that you had shot him, and then what happened after that?
I walked back over to my parents' side of the house, and I handed my dad the gun, and he said, "What's that?" And I said, "I shot Greg." I said, "I killed Greg." And he says, "What?" And he said, "You shouldn't have done that." And my mom just broke down. And
was there anyone else besides you, your mom and dad, and Greg?
My aunt was there, and I texted my sister, and I told her that I killed Greg.
Okay. And then you said your mom was hysterical, and at that time, that's when you called 911. Okay. And you had told dispatch what had happened?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your sister name?
Shannon Hash.
Shannon Hash. Is that NNN?
SHANNON.
You text her off of your phone?
Yes, it's the LG Stylo 6.
Okay.
I dropped it in the driveway whenever they put the cuffs on me.
Okay. Did your sister answer you back, or?
I don't know.
Okay.
I sent the text and then called 911, so I didn't have a chance to check it or.
Right. Okay.
So you called 911 primarily because your mom was hysterical. You knew she wouldn't have been herself.
Yeah, I knew they weren't able to wrap their heads around what just happened, and it needed to be done.
Joni describes her family's shocked and horrified reaction to the murder, but still insists that it needed to be done. And despite feeling like killing Gregory was just taking out the trash, it doesn't mean she feels good about it. Or does she?
In reference to what had happened, how do you feel now?
Terrible. I did a terrible thing.
If y'all were alone, do you think you would call 911 still?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Your phone.
That's 706.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure the deputies and whoever responding on scene has it now. Do you know if there's like a passcode or anything on the phone? Do you mind if we get the passcode from you?
103157.
103157. Okay. And is it okay if the other detectives confirm, everything that you had said about the text, and are you okay with them looking through your phone?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to think of anything else. I mean, you've been very upfront, and it's like you said, it is a horrible thing to happen, but you're doing everything you can now to be upfront and be honest about everything. As of right now, I can't think of anything else. Do you have kids together?
No. We
Okay.
have cats.
Okay. Does he have family?
Yes.
Do they live around here?
Punta Gorda.
Okay.
Where?
Punta Gorda. Who's does he have? Who lives in Punta Gorda?
His mother, father, sister, and brother.
Okay.
And he has an aunt.
Okay. And they all live in Punta Gorda. Okay.
Is there anything you want to tell us that you haven't already?
Remorseful. I understand. It's like you said, it's a mistake. It's a big mistake. But I mean, you're here now, and best thing is being upfront about everything, and like you've been. If we have any more questions or anything, do you mind if we talk to you again? Okay.
Investigators now have a clear outline of what happened, yet there's still a few more things they'd like to know about the timeline of events. But before that, Joni has a question for them.
Does anybody know if my parents were okay?
There's still detectives and deputies out there now, so I'm sure they're fine. And usually in a situation like this, we try and see if there's any assistance or aid they may need. It is a traumatic event for everyone, obviously. So any counseling or something like that, maybe.
Dad, he's got congestive heart failure. And
Okay.
my mom's got a bad heart, and she was really, really hysterical. And I just...
Do you remember about what time you were headed back home?
It was 6 o'clock.
Were you somewhere else, or were you at the hospital with him and you both left in separate vehicles?
We both left in separate vehicles.
Okay.
And we headed down Midway, and we went to the Circle K on Kings Highway at the end of Midway.
Okay.
We were there for probably 30 minutes, and we put gas in my dad's car, and we put air in the tire on the truck, the Dodge truck. And then my sister met us there and dropped off my dad for me to take home, and we drove home from there. And
Okay, so when you were going through this in your head, that was what you want to talk?
Was there a conversation between you and your dad about any of this? Okay.
Was it just a silent ride, radio?
no, we were talking normally. I didn't tell him anything that I was planning to do. I mean, I was just having normal conversations with him.
How long were you at the hospital with Greg?
All
Prior.
day. He had a surgery this morning. I got
Okay.
there this morning about 8:15,
Okay.
and I was there until he was released today.
Okay. And he had a surgery and everything was done. Was there a conversation between you guys before you left the hospital? Just about like anything going, wrap to go home or...
Yes, I told him, I said, because he was driving the truck and I was driving the car, and I said, how about you follow me? And he actually suggested that he follow behind me, as always, and I told him I could go up midway to the Circle K and put gas in the car.
Okay.
I said, we can air up that tire. I said, because I don't want it, riding around on a slack tire.
And then when you got to the Circle K, did you talk to him again? Or, I mean, was there any, like, argument or anything between?
We were having issues with the gas pumps. They weren't pumping right.
Mm-hmm.
They would start pumping and then cut off at like 13 cents. And we talked back and forth through the window of the car for a little bit about the gas pumps. And then I was doing some things on my phone, and he handed me the card, and he got in the truck, and then I called him back over to hand me the card again. And then I told him the plan that my sister was going to come and drop off my dad, and then we were going to go home, and then everyone was going to go from there to Red Lobster for dinner.
Okay. During that conversation at Circle K or the conversation at the hospital or, anytime earlier today, were you guys back and forth arguing or anything, or was it, more casual?
I was under a lot of pressure, under a lot of stress because my dad was up there, so I was crying a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and he was crying a lot. It was an intense day.
Do you believe he was crying due to his situation or about your father?
I guess. I'm really not sure.
Or were he and your parents close?
My parents didn't really care for him because of the way he treated me.
Okay.
But I can't really speak for him on, how he felt about them.
Joni details the hours leading up to Gregory's death, including plans for family time at Red Lobster. But she also admits that her parents didn't care for Gregory because of the way he treated her. And when he went to change before going out to dinner, she did them what she surely feels was a big favor.
And when you got home, what do you think his plan was for the evening?
He was going to go out to dinner with us.
With you guys? Okay. And did he go in the apartment to change or get ready or just relax for a little bit beforehand?
I told him if he wanted to change his clothes, he could.
Okay.
I asked him if he wanted to take a shower, and he said he took a shower earlier at the hospital, so he didn't feel the need to. And the water's not working in the apartment right now in the shower, so he wouldn't have been able to take a shower.
Okay. He would have probably had to go to your parents to take a shower or something?
Yes.
Okay.
But he was just in there, and he had the door locked, so I had to knock on the door, and he unlocked it to let me in.
Okay. He unlocked it and opened the door and had the conversation right there. Okay. When he came towards you, do you think he was just trying to stop you and get the weapon away from you? Okay.
I don't think I asked, but the time, because I know you said you had called because your mother was distraught. About how long was that from when you called him to when you actually called him?
Immediately. I did not wait 1 second.
Did you still have feelings for him? Even though, at a certain point, obviously, you guys cared about each other, but...
I didn't love him, and I wanted out of the relationship, and he just pushed me past the point of no return, and I couldn't do it anymore.
Okay.
he would not let me go.
Okay. Are you remorseful about him or about how it affected everyone else?
About how it's affected everyone else. I'm remorseful about him. I'm remorseful about everything that I've done.
Okay.
I feel terrible. It was a terrible thing to do. I should have never done it. It's a terrible thing. It's you're not supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful. And I wish I would have never done it.
Okay.
I wish I could take it back.
All right. You don't have
any questions for us?
Do you have anything for us? I'll just let you know the process from here. I mean, you're going to be booked into the jail. If for some reason, while you're back there, if you do have a question, you can advise one of the deputies back there and have them contact us.
He drove me insane. I mean, I really believe that I'm insane.
And why do you believe that?
I believe that he was the devil. I'm ashamed of it. My parents know it.
They know the way you felt about him?
Yes.
Okay. What did they say for you to do? I mean, what?
They've been watching me very closely, and it was one of the reasons why they took me out of the apartment with him and put me inside the house.
Were they worried about what was going to happen, like between you two, or were they worried about you?
Well, they were worried about everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they knew he was pushing me over the edge, and they wanted to get me away from him because they didn't want me to be pushed over the edge.
Joni's story is suddenly changing once again. She again claims to be insane, and not only that, she thinks Gregory was the devil. But is she for real? Or is this all a painfully obvious act to try to get away with murder?
And I called my mom while I was at the hospital today, and I said, Mom, I need you now. I've only been back around him for just this little bit of time. I'm sleep deprived, and I said, no, I'm already, I'm supposed to start my new job tomorrow, and already I feel like I just can't do this. And she said, but you need your job so that you can keep your sanity.
Work and try and take your mind off things.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ashamed because I'm ashamed of being insane.
Did they try to help you, or have you sought out any like psychiatric help or mental health counseling?
I have in the past when we had health insurance.
Okay.
I haven't had any health insurance because he keeps on changing jobs and losing health insurance, and we were waiting for his health insurance to kick in because he just got hired on at Walmart. And I have been on mood stabilizers and antidepressants, and I ran out of my antidepressants. And I was almost out of my mood stabilizers, and between everything that's been going on with my parents' health, I've been hearing voices in my head. I believe that he's the devil. And in order to save the world, I have to kill him.
Do you know, I mean, there are free programs and places you can go for free. You don't have to have insurance to talk to somebody. I mean, have you ever thought about trying to do something like that before?
I didn't know that anybody would help me for free. I thought I had to have money for everything. I don't have any money.
Okay. And do you think talking to someone and clearing things up would have helped?
Oh, maybe.
When you talked to someone before, did that help?
When I first moved out of the apartment and got away from him and moved into my parents' side, they kept us separated for a while. And I started getting back to normal. But he would force me to deal with him.
What do you mean by force?
He would keep messaging me and just keep on and keep on and keep on, pushing me mentally until I would come out to kiss him goodbye or tell him I love him, or he would just keep on pushing me until I went over the edge. And I'm so ashamed of myself. I don't want to be insane. My mom is so proud of me, and she did not want me to be insane. She tried so hard. She tried so hard to save me from being insane. She really did. I don't want to be insane. I really don't. I don't want to be insane. I want to live normally and happily with my family again. That's all I wanted. Just wanted to be happy and free with my family again. I didn't have any money. I couldn't divorce him, and I was waiting for our stimulus check to come in, and it wouldn't ever come in the mail, and people, I swear, have been messing with our mail, and we see people looking in our mailbox all the time, and it just...
Have you gone to the courthouse and tried to file papers or anything for the divorce before?
No, I didn't have any money. You have to have money to file for a divorce. You can't file it without paying for it.
You ever thought about maybe asking your parents to borrow it, or?
It wasn't they don't have the money. They live on disability.
Okay.
Both of my parents are on disability, and my aunt's on disability, and they don't have any money.
Okay.
Their income is so limited that the income that they have coming in is going right back out in bills.
Okay.
And everything is so stressful and strenuous.
Joni's life is no doubt stressful, but that doesn't mean she can use every tragedy in it to excuse cold-blooded murder. She continues to try, and investigators continue to listen, but her sob story gets her nowhere.
I tried so hard. I did not want to come home from the hospital with him today. I just did not want to bring him home from the hospital. I didn't. I wanted to run away, but he messed up my car and I couldn't even run away. He messed up my car and I couldn't even go.
Do you have friends in Arcadia? Do you have anybody?
I have no friends. I have nobody but my family. He even turned I had one best friend, and he turned her against me.
What about your sister? Where does your sister live?
She lives in Punta Gorda on 17, just past the distribution center in Ridge Harbor.
Oh, okay. Have you ever thought living with her for a little bit?
Me and her husband don't get along.
Okay.
I mean, he's not there very much, but she's got her own problems to deal with.
Right.
And I feel like I'm a burden on everyone because I don't have a job. I don't have my own income. And no matter where I go, I'm a burden because I cost money. You have to feed me. You have to, supply my medications. And I'm a burden. no matter where I go, I'm a burden.
Where was your new job?
At Dollar Tree.
Okay. What time were you supposed to start tomorrow? Okay.
My parents were so proud and so happy because I was starting a new job, and they were looking forward to me blossoming and starting a new life. And
Did you think getting a new job was going to get you back on the right track and have your own money and stuff and insurance? And
if he hadn't have been in my life, yes.
mm-hmm.
But with him in my life, I couldn't handle all the stress.
Okay.
I couldn't handle the stress from him, the stress from my sick family, and working too, and trying to do it all by myself. I just couldn't do it.
While Joni Truman may have finally gotten rid of her husband, it ended up costing her in the end. She was found guilty of premeditated murder and sentenced to life in prison, with an additional 20 years for crimes committed in jail, including criminal mischief and battery on law enforcement.